Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Noobster back with another Wonderlands video. And today, guys, we're going to do something a little bit different. So, as you guys know, the Redux mod was recently released, and I kind of wanted to make a video real quick going through all the class changes and all the class trees. So yeah, if you guys don't know what Redux is, it's a mod that came out recently, and there's just a whole new bunch of changes. If you guys do want to download it, it is only for PC. But I will go ahead and leave a link of Epic NNG, who's the creator of this mod. I'll leave a link to his video on how to download and get it all set up. So go ahead and check that out. It'll be in the description with all that fun stuff. Anyway, I've recorded this video like 4 times already, but it was like getting super long, so I kind of want to get right into it. So let's go ahead and get started. Alright guys, so we are going to go ahead and start off with our Graveboard. Some of the classes have very few changes, such as Graveboard, but some of the other classes like Clawbringer and Warden have like huge changes. So we'll try to run down through all of these real quick. Some of them we really don't have to run down through much. For example, with Graveboard, there's really not much change. I'm going to try to spec into all the skills and just give you a quick look. But really, there's no change here besides the new coloring for all the different tiers. So as you guys can see, I'm going through. I'm not going to put any points into the 1-point skills because there are augments now to our action skills, which I do want to show you guys. So we're just going to try to max all this stuff out and then leave a couple points. Well, we could go all the way to the action skill and get these two. But with our augments, which are really the major changes for Graveborn here, with Dire Sacrifice, now you are going to be able to do direct damage to the health bar instead of all the shields and the white skeleton bars and all that stuff. So it's a nice change. I don't think it's all that great, but I think it is good to have. If your build does do a lot of damage with Dire Sacrifice, this is definitely a point worth. But there is a damage penalty. So each of these augments kind of also has a downside to them. So that's a downside for this. Next, with Reaper of Bones, you're going to basically be doing more damage with Reaper of Bones after you activate it, but in turn, you're also going to take more damage. This one's called Glass Cannon, similar to how Spellshot has it. But yeah, those are the major changes for Graveborn. Again, nothing major. I'll go ahead and show you guys quickly each of the skill points. You can pause the video if you want to take a look, but really no major changes here. So now we've gone ahead and respect. We're now going to go ahead and take a quick look at the Spellshot. Spellshot also did have a lot of changes. There are a few small things in the skill tree, unlike Graveborn, which literally just has the augments. And if I'm wrong about any of the stuff, guys, please let me know in the comments, because there may be hidden things that I'm not realizing. But from my initial looks, I didn't see any changes. Anyway, now we're talking about Spellshot, so let's get right into it. Again, there are no major changes here. So all of these skills are pretty much doing the exact same thing. So yeah, we're just going to keep going down and just keep investing a point into each of these. Just try to see what the max is. So if you guys do see something and maybe I missed it, please let me know. I do have 3 out of 3 in this, so that would be maxed. So you could take a quick look at that. It's only 9%. I think that is a small change to Double Knot, but I don't remember what the previous value is. But yeah, this is now capped at 9% of damage dealt for Double Knot, which can obviously go up to 18% when you have 3 from your armor piece. Sever the Thread also has no changes, but one of the major changes is 1 slot, 1 kill. Now, along with the gun damage boost per stack of spell weaving, you are also going to get increased cast speed, which I actually like this one a lot. So if you are doing a Spellshot build where you are going all the way down, that is very useful in my opinion. But yeah, I mean, not a big thing, but it definitely is a nice little addition to have. Now, with the Ambihextrous mod, the augment that they've given here is that you regen 1 spell charge for every 5 kills. I kind of think it's counterintuitive because you're going to be going all the way down here. So Sever the Thread, honestly, in my opinion, seems more worthwhile than this. Especially because Sever the Thread kind of replenishes all of your spell charges, not just one. So I don't personally like Monowell that much. But if it was maybe played... One thing I would say is if these augments were moved to the top or somewhere in the middle of the skill trees, I think that would be much more useful, just so you don't have to go all the way down to Sever the Thread to get this, like, addition to your spell charges. And I feel like if you can move that somewhere in the middle, maybe even place it right next to Glass Cannon, and then being able to proc Buffmeisters, get 5 kills, get another charge, yeah, I feel like that would be much more useful then. But unfortunately, all the augments, you do kind of have to reach the capstone. You don't have to actually take the capstone themselves, but you do have to get all the way down to them to unlock them. And then for polymorph, we have basically your polymorph duration on the polymorphed enemy is going to be longer, but you are going to deal less gun damage to that specific enemy. So again, I've never tested out polymorph, to be honest, so I can't really give my opinion. But yeah, those were the changes for Spellshot. Again, not too many changes here. Next, we are going to take a look at Clawbringer. Clawbringer honestly has had one of the biggest changes in my opinion. Not through its skill tree really that much. There is one skill in particular that is just totally a game changer. But let's go ahead and take a quick look. So no changes to Oath of Fire, no changes to any of these skills here. Pretty much giving you 20% or 30%, basically the same with Oath of Thunder. Dragon Aura is also not changed, same with Dedication and Rebuke. Now the first change we are seeing is with Dragon's Fury. So Dragon's Fury now gives you ability damage. Previously it wasn't actually called Dragon's Fury, I'm forgetting the name, but it was, I want to say it was a Wyvern skill. It didn't help much, but now basically you can scale your ability damage whenever you have multiple things in your inventory with the same element. So I think this is a very nice change. I think it helps a lot with like barrages if you pair this with a Spore Warden, or even your own action skills here with Cleansing Flame and Storm Dragon's Judgment. So yeah, I personally really like the skill. Again, next with Firebolt, no change here. Friend of Flame, nope. But Storm Breath. Storm Breath is giving you an insanely high scaled lightning damage boost. So I would highly recommend, if you are going to go all the way down here, at least, to Clawbringer, use a lightning weapon, or else you will not get the benefit of this. You have to pair this with a lightning weapon. It's not bonus lightning damage, it's a lightning damage bonus, or lightning damage boost, you can see. Either way, you're getting a ton of extra lightning damage with this. You definitely got to use lightning weapons now with Clawbringer. And yeah, so honestly a huge change. Next, in Awe, we are getting a reduction to the critical hit chance, but that's fine because you're going to be able to literally get the full value of Awe because of the lightning damage and the fire damage from Oath of Fire. So again, still really nice. You get good critical hit damage. And now the other change is with here. Resistance is Futile also is a new addition to Clawbringer. And basically, after you get a kill, it eliminates all elemental resistances, so you can use fire on fire immune enemies. A very nice skill to have. Other than that, there really are no changes. Storm Smite, I think, got a slight boost to its damage. But again, Storm Smite honestly is more of an ability thing. So if you do have an ability build, I think Storm Smite is going to help, but I've personally not seen one around. But yeah, those are the changes for Clawbringer. Cleansing Flame actually got a huge buff with this augment here. So basically, now Cleansing Flame, if you have this augment, is going to give a debuff to lightning and fire damage. I personally like this augment a lot. I was more of a fan of Storm Dragon's Judgment, but unfortunately, the damage boost for Storm Dragon Judgment is not huge. In the recent patch, it actually got changed, so now the bonus damage dealt at 30 meters is going to be 30%, and I think that's it. That's capped at 30%. So it's not really helping with your gun damage otherwise. It's just going to help with specifically the Storm Dragon's Judgment action skill. But yeah, those are the changes with Clawbringer. I really like this new revamped skill tree. I think it's probably one of my favorites. Enough said, let's go ahead and take a look at the next one. All right, what we have next is Spore Warden. Spore Warden is another one that got honestly unnecessary buffs in my opinion. I think Spore Warden was already really good, but hey, now it's even better, so why not, right? So no changes with the tier 1 mods. They're all pretty much the same. I don't want to repeat too much, but yeah, I mean, some of the changes are more towards the later part of the skill tree. Again, no change to Affinity. Bullseye is pretty much the same. Quiver of Holding actually did get a small buff. Basically, your first shot deals 21% bonus damage. So that's very nice. If you can have a build that basically keeps replenishing ammo and you can keep getting that first shot, I think that would be really cool. I'm actually trying to do something like that, but I am having a tough time. No changes to Windrunner or Medicinal Mushroom. The next thing is Headhunter actually got moved to a tier ahead. So Headhunter is now placed here. You can get that a little bit earlier. Another change is called Shot. Now you actually can only max stack it up to 3, but you get 10% damage per second. And on top of this, they also give an additional incentive to use sniper damage or sniper rifles, because there is a sniper rifle buff with this specific skill here. So if you can hold down your sights for 3 seconds, you get an additional 30% for regular guns, and on top of that, you get 30% more if you are using a sniper rifle. I think this is a nice skill to have. Before, you would have to wait for 10 seconds. Nobody was going to do that, but I think 3 seconds is more manageable. So now this skill is worth, in my opinion, putting points into. Next, with Wrath of Nature, no change here, always good. But on the other side, we have a new skill here called Freeload. So basically, every third shot, really, if you have 3 out of 3 points, basically removes a shot. But every third shot, you are going to get an amped shot, and that won't consume ammo. So it kind of goes hand in hand with how Spore Warden should be able to regen ammo, not consume ammo, basically try to keep a high magazine size. So I think that's what they're going for. It says triggers every 2 shots, but that's like 2 shots in the middle, and then the third shot's going to be amped, and then 2 shots in the middle. Yeah. Again, amp damage is going to be nice, so I find it a nice skill to have, and an unnecessary bonus, but nonetheless, it is a nice little damage boost. No changes to play the angles. Now, going into the augments. So with your barrage, there is going to be a debuff for sniper rifles. So that is nice. And then on top of that, enemies are going to attack slower if they're hit with barrage. So again, I think they're trying to incentivize using sniper rifles with the changes here and with called shot. But yeah, those are that is the augment for the barrage. Over on the other side though, with Maelstrom, this is going to be the Blizzard augment, and it's basically going to give you other bonus elements. So pairing this with, I don't know, like a Blight Caller, and you can proc all its different skills, I think that would be really nice. I don't use Blizzard that much, but yeah, this will basically allow you to proc all the different elements and do all that fun stuff. I think it might also be nice with stabomancer with like elemental builds and stuff. But yeah, those are the changes for Spore Warden. Another one of my favorites. Alright, moving along. Now we are going to Berserker. This is one of the trees where I did not see any significant changes. Berserker was already pretty good, so I didn't think there was actually any changes needed. Yeah, not really anything that caught my eye. If there is something that you guys notice, please let me know. I'm just trying to go through each one of them and just show you guys real quick. You can pause the video if there's a certain skill you found was, you know, a slight change. But I don't use melee on Berserker that much, so if there is a melee thing that changed, I'm sorry, I probably won't spot it. But yeah, there we are with the Berserker, the augments that we have here. So for Dreadwind, it's basically going to give you a new thing called Rage. It's going to increase your melee damage, your movement speed, your consumption rate of your action skills, but you also take more damage as you get more stacks of Rage. It's a weird one, but I think this would actually be really fun to play around with, especially if you can just like stay in your action skill for a while. On the other side, we have Hammer Time. This is the augment to Feral Surge. Basically, when you hit an enemy with Feral Surge, they are going to get a different status called Frostbite. It's kind of like a debuff, a cryo debuff, and on top of that, it also increases your radius for the action skill itself. This one's alright. I kind of prefer Void Rage, but this one is better if, you know, they had a higher cryo debuff, but I honestly don't know why it's so low. I guess if you are going to use Feral Surge, this is not too bad if you're going all the way down. But again, not something that, in my opinion, is too impactful. Alright, moving along to Stabomancer. I'm sorry if I'm going real quick, guys. I am not trying to take too much time for this video, but no changes here, at least from my initial looks. With most of these points, there are a couple of changes down towards the bottom of the tree, but nothing here. Mind you, I do have 2 points in the skill, so the critical hit damage is slightly higher there, but I think they also added movement speed to the skill, which is going to pair nicely with Swift Death and Haste. No changes here with Contagion or anything like that. Another change I saw is 1,000 cuts now actually scales a little bit more, so that's also a nice change. I don't think people are using 1,000 cuts that much, but yeah, this does make it a little more worthwhile. And then a new skill they added here is Stalker. So basically, the lower health an enemy has, the more damage stabomancer is going to do. So it's a nice skill to have. I think it is good that it's only a 1-point investment and you can do up to 50% bonus damage to an enemy. And I think, honestly, it's going to be really nice for some of those beefy bosses where you can just kind of scale your damage throughout the fight. As you do more damage, you're going to deal more damage. So that is nice to have. I think it's a good 1-point investment. Other than that, there really aren't any other changes except for like those 3 skills. Looking at the augments, so first we have Slasher. Basically, damage that you inflict with Ghostblade is now going to also inflict bleed to regular enemies, not bosses. And yeah, it doesn't get any benefit from status effects, but it's going to basically deal damage over time also. I kind of don't exactly know. You can get bleed, you can stack it up to 5 times. It's nice to have a new status effects at least. But yeah, those are the changes with the Ghostblade augment. With From the Shadows, this one is actually kind of cool. So you're going to increase your critical hit damage, but you are no longer going to guarantee all the critical hits. So this is actually kind of nice because if you guys didn't know, From the Shadows actually nerfs your critical hit damage a little bit while you're in it, but it guarantees all your critical hits. This is basically kind of reverting back and giving you as much chance, but it is going to give you an increased critical hit chance, but not like 100%. So I think if you're still proccing a ton of crits, I think this is actually probably better than just base From the Shadows. But yeah, I haven't tested this out, but I think this might be somewhat good, especially if you already have a high crit hit chance. But yeah, those are the changes for Stabomancer. Alright, last but not least, we have Blight Caller. And real quick, so the first thing is Geist in the Shell actually got a bit of a nerf. Kind of makes sense. Geist in the Shell was already kind of overpowered, so I don't think it's too bad of a nerf here. Other things, really no changes. I don't think there are actually any changes at all to Blight Caller, which, to be honest, it's a pretty balanced tree, so I don't really think there were any changes needed. With the augments, with the Bog Totem, basically, this is cool. I like this one a lot. When your Bog Totems, when you spawn them in, they are actually going to give you various bonuses. So it'll be like reload speed, swap speed, fire rate, and ammo regen, which I really like. And you can stack these up all the way to 99. So I actually like this one a lot. If you have a couple of points to spare and you're going all the way to Spirit Swarm, I definitely think the 1-point investment is nice to have here. And then on the other side, I'm more of a Plague Storm guy. Plague Storm, the radius is going to be increased, which is really nice because Plague Storm does not move. And having a bigger radius is going to be beneficial. And then on top of that, you basically get a poison debuff, so poison's going to do more damage, which is nice if you're, spec'd into a poison build because Blight Caller is a poison character, I think this is a nice skill to have. You'll get a bonus poison damage to when you have Plague Storm activated or if your enemies are damaged by Plague Storm. So yeah, that is definitely a nice one to have. Alright guys, that is all of the changes. I'm very sorry if I went really quick through them. I'm trying to get this build out or this video out, and I didn't want to make it too long. It still might be really long. I'll try to cut out all the unnecessary parts if there were any. But I hope you guys did enjoy the video. Please try this mod out. There are really cool changes, so I personally am having a ton of fun. But yeah, if you haven't played it, again, I'll leave the link of Epic NNG's video in the description. Please check this mod out. It is really, really fun. It's kind of revitalized the game. But yeah, again, apologies for being super quick with it. I just wanted to get it out quick. If there are any changes that you saw that I didn't notice, please let me know in the comments. I'm very, very interested in just knowing what kind of changes there were, and I haven't looked into the patch notes, to be honest. Kind of just wanted to bring this video out to you guys. But yeah, that is all, guys. I hope you enjoyed. I will check you guys in the next video, which is going to be a build, so be on the lookout. That'll be coming out. It's a base game build, and then after that, I might be bringing out some Redux builds. So be on the lookout, guys. I will be bringing those out shortly. And yeah, guys, thanks for watching. If you're new to the channel, sub. We are just growing really nicely, and I want to say thank you to everybody. But anyway, I've been rambling on for a while. I'll let you guys go. So anyway, thanks again, and I'll catch you guys later. Peace.